make it through.
Hi, this is Jay Real from Real Family Talk. We'll be on from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. every Tuesday on Gospel 1680. Hope to see you there.
Dad, remember that year my birthday party got washed out by the storm? When nobody showed up, and we spent the whole night eating cake and ice cream?
Yeah, I remember. Had to be your worst party ever.
Actually, it was my favorite.
You never know which moments will be the ones they remember forever. So take time to be a dad today. Learn more at 1-877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov.
Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
WOKB, Winter Garden, Orlando.
Welcome to Real Family Talk with your host, Jay Real, where we talk about real issues facing us today. Enjoy the show. Real Family Talk. Hello. Welcome to another week of Real Family Talk. This is your host, Jay Real. Hope everybody's having the best Tuesday night you can. It's been a little rainy tonight in Florida. Hurricane Isaac is departing us. Oh, he's a hurricane now. He's a tropical storm when he came through Florida. But I heard he just hit land in Louisiana, and is actually a Category 1 hurricane. Everybody, of course, remembers what happened during Hurricane Katrina, so my prayers and thoughts go out to the people of Louisiana. Hopefully it does not have that same type of impact this evening. Okay, but let me go ahead and welcome my panel here tonight. We got Jeremy's in the house. How you doing tonight, Jeremy?
I'm good. What's going on, family?
Oh, we got Miss McCray is here. Miss McCray, how you doing?
Good evening. Blessed and highly favored.
Uh-oh.
I was listening to that song earlier, and now it's in my head.
Oh, okay. That's what I'm talking about.
Say, little Becky do that, huh?
Yeah, you know what?
Okay. We got Mr. Micah King is in the building. How you doing, Mr. Micah King?
I'm doing good.
And shout out to Miss Monica. Miss Monica's not been here.
Miss Monica.
But she's a little down and out tonight.
We miss you.
Got
miss
hurt.
you, girl.
So shout out to Miss Monica. I don't know if she's listening, but shout out to you, Miss Monica. So
she better be listening.
Let's go ahead and get right into the show here tonight. The first thing I want to bring up is the NFL. We're getting close to the last preseason game of the season here. Thank God it's time to get to the real deal.
Yeah.
So the Steelers can make their way back to the Super Bowl.
Oh, wow.
Shout out to them Steelers.
Yeah.
All them Steelers fans out there.
I'm praying Mike Wallace showed up today.
I don't know if he showed up or not. I didn't get a chance to catch that story.
No Wallace, no Super Bowl.
We'll work on that.
Might even not be no playoff.
We'll get to the playoffs. We always get to the playoffs. We the Steelers, baby. But yeah, Terrell Owens cut.
Yeah.
Cut T.O.
Sad to see that.
Well,
cut T.O. cut now. First Ocho, now T.O. Who's next? Oh, Vince Young.
Vince Young is
cut
next.
Cut as well.
I missed that. He was cut too?
Yeah,
Yes.
cut from the Buffalo Bills. They cut him and replaced him. They resigned Tavares Jackson actually.
Yep.
They
traded
to be perhaps the backup over in Buffalo.
Oh,
Vince Young. I don't even think Vince Young 30 yet.
No, he's not.
30 with no team.
28 or 29, something like that.
30 with no team. Plexico Burr still ain't got a team.
Nope.
Wow.
Maybe his leg still hurt. I don't know.
I have no idea. Seemed like all the I don't know if we call them troubled. Is that the word for all of these guys?
That's a good word.
Troubled are all sitting at home wondering if that phone call is gonna ring. I hope all those brothers though get another opportunity. Even T.O. T.O. I mean, when you think of the specimen of T.O.
Let me say this about Vince Young. You hear, well, I'm saying in particular, there's a broadcaster on the sports network on ESPN, and he keeps screaming up and down how the Jets need to change their offense and let Tebow run the offense that he's good at running.
Yes.
Why don't we let nobody runs? Tebow is good at running that spread offense, but he does not run it as well as Vince Young run it. Why don't some team tailor their offense and let Vince Young run the spread? You know, nobody throws that out there. See, that's one of my issues with the whole Tebow thing. Everybody like, well, he does this good, so why don't they let him do what he do best? Well, not even just Vince Young. How many black quarterbacks have come through the league and they have not? You got Brad Smith in Buffalo returning kicks and being a receiver. He was out of this world in college as a quarterback, being a dual threat. You know, he was running a Wildcat in New York a couple years ago. And they picked up Tebow because he left. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, Vince Young, he has talent. He has ability. And he can throw better than Tebow. So he'll be that much more dangerous. Can somebody answer that for me?
Yeah, I got the same question, man. I was writing blogs about that last season. You know what I mean? Tim Tebow comes out of college. And, yes, he was a great running, little bit of throwing kind of quarterback. But I think about Mike Vick when Mike Vick came out.
Yes.
Tim Tebow is no Mike Vick.
Not even close.
And
He's
the
not
first
Mike Vick
thing
now.
they said about Mike
After
Vick.
a 2-year prison sentence.
He's still better than
He
him.
still ain't Mike.
And the first thing they said about him is, he's never going to come to the NFL and do that. And so they have tried their best to make him a pocket passer. And shout out to Philadelphia. They've got him committed at least to the idea. Mm-hmm. And he does a pretty good job, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, he takes a lot of hits.
Yeah, when he has time, he does a good job.
He does a pretty
good job. Just like any other quarterback.
But, you know, takes a little too many hits, but that's nothing you can do about that. Got to get a better O-line.
Yeah.
But yet we always push the black quarterback to say you need to be a pocket passer.
Yep.
But everybody is like, why can't this guy just run? Like, because he's a quarterback. He's supposed to throw the ball.
Right.
According to everything that I've heard about the NFL, quarterbacks throw. They find a way to drop back and make passes.
All of a sudden, it's okay.
All of a sudden, though, for this one particular guy, it's okay to run a run offense from a quarterback perspective.
Right.
That's the thing that always just gets me going about Tim Tebow. And clearly, I mean, I've seen some of the preseason games with this dude. This dude can't make open passes.
Yeah.
Wide receiver wide open in the touchdown. He throwing all on the sideline.
Not
Who you
even
throwing
that.
to?
Did you see the pick he threw the other night? I don't know what he was throwing, but when the dude caught the ball, it was only 3 defenders in the picture.
Wow.
Like where was the receiver at?
This guy get all kind of passes, and you know, it is what it is. I suppose. You know what I mean?
get.
And it's not going to change clearly.
No.
Because at the end of the day, Mark Sanchez has probably already been written off by at least half of the fans waiting to get their sights at the magic, quote unquote, of Tim Tebow, and you know, he'll magically get them into the playoffs like he did for Denver last year or whatever the case may be.
You better ask Orlando about magic.
He said it don't last always.
Timmy.
But I can't believe Mr. Michael King ain't had nothing to say. This dude be all over the football. You ain't got nothing to say over there, bro?
Hey, y'all done said it all, man. Ain't nothing I can really say about that.
Oh, okay. All right, bro.
I mean, I can get on them Steelers. That I can do.
The career mode ain't teach you nothing.
What?
Franchise mode.
He told me them Steelers ain't gonna do nothing. I know that.
No, we already know that.
Not without Hines Ward. I know that.
No,
they ain't not gonna do nothing without
time
him.
will tell, brother. Time will tell.
Time gonna tell nothing.
Time will tell.
But I know who
Time
you need to
will
watch out
silence
for.
all
Are them Panthers. I can tell you that right now. The Panthers and the 49ers. Them the teams to watch out for this year.
Yeah, shout out to Randy
I would
Moss.
agree.
Randy Moss is on the team. That's a big plus. I think that gives Alex Smith a big target. I mean, he has Michael Crabtree, but it seems like Michael Crabtree still is trying
He's trying to get it together.
Still trying to get his footing right, you know?
Yeah.
But having Randy out there, you know, that's a plus. I don't care who you are.
It is a big
A
plus.
38-year-old Randy Moss is still better than a 26-year-old Stephen Hill. That's all I'm saying.
But I don't know. Would you rather have
38-year-old.
Randy Moss, T.O., or Chad Ochocinco?
Randy
Moss.
Randy
All
Moss.
day long.
All day long.
I think I'd rather have T.O.
Moss
Randy
all
Moss.
day long.
All day long. I think T.O. is good. Don't get me wrong. T.O. is good. But I think Randy Moss is when it comes to players that came close to the caliber of Jerry Rice and their ability to change the position of wide receiver.
Yeah, he changed.
I give the nod. I give the nod to Randy Moss over T.O.
He changed.
You know?
I agree.
Randy Moss changed the position. He invented to throw it down the field and let your receiver get it.
The man about 6'8".
No, he's not 6'8". He's about 6'4".
6'4".
Plaxico 6'4".
Plaxico shot in the leg, like you said earlier.
He wasn't shot in the leg.
He
wasn't shot in the leg a few years ago.
When he was with the Giants, he was doing the same thing. They just throwing it up there and let Plaxico. Even when he was with the Jets,
but he wasn't. Actually, no, he wasn't doing that last year with the Jets.
I'm saying, but that's the idea.
He wasn't doing at the level that Moss was doing it in Minnesota, and then later on in New England. Yeah. He wasn't doing it at that level. He came in just throw the ball. I'm gonna get it. He changed the position.
What quarterbacks?
He's the reason you have half the DBs in the league now are 6 feet tall. Because before 6 feet was too tall, you had to play safety.
Yeah, cause most of them were 5'10",
exactly.
5'9".
Yep. He's the reason they DBs start being playing 6 feet, 6'2". He's the reason. Changed the position.
Definitely. So shout out NFL, man. Like I said, what do we do? About 2 weeks away
I'm excited.
From the first season. First kickoff. Can't wait. It's going to be on a Wednesday night this year.
Yeah, September 5th, yeah.
Yeah, Wednesday night this year. So that's about a week away. So a week away.
Shout out to everybody who got DirecTV and getting the free NFL ticket. That's just amazing.
That is amazing.
That's just amazing. I will be at Brother Smith's house.
Nah, ain't no reason to come to my house. Because I ain't ordered it.
I thought you got to order it. I thought it's free.
Nah, it's free with new subscriptions. But that's neither here nor there.
Right.
But one more NFL story here that I just got to mention is because this blew my mind. And that relates to the Dallas Cowboys and Dez Bryant. So for those that don't know, they say, according to reports, it says the wide receiver is going to be monitored around the clock by a 3-man security detail that will drive him to practices, team functions, and games. He'll also have a midnight curfew. He's also forbidden to drink alcohol, and he's banned from visiting strip clubs. And then if he wants to go to any kind of nightclub, he has to first get the approval of the Dallas Cowboys before he can do anything. This is Dez Bryant.
Wow.
23 years old, about to be 24-year-old, millionaire, wide receiver.
Professional.
Has
grown.
Yeah.
Grown man has babysitters. Has babysitters. And not only does he have babysitters, he has babysitters sanctioned and mandated by his team.
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding me? Like, I understand, from the Cowboys' perspective, right? It's basically a business move. They've invested a lot of money into him. They're saying to themselves, this dude has clearly shown that he is not able to keep himself out of trouble. And so to protect our investment, we're going to create this basically a behavior contract and make him abide by it. Otherwise, we will make him face certain consequences. But really? He's 23-year-old millionaire on a professional football team.
Like a kid.
And he has a behavior contract where he has to be monitored 24 hours a day. He has to seek approval to be able to hang out. Like, are you kidding me? It just seems like this is from a professional perspective, it seems like this just is not worth it. You got to do all this to make sure a man is going to honor his contract and play to the best of his ability. That just seems like a dude you don't need to invest in.
Pretty much. You don't want it.
Well, they got to invest in him. They don't have no other show in Dallas. He's the big-time playmaker. They don't got nobody else down there to do the things he can do. And I believe another reason they're doing that because he is only 23. No 5-6 year veteran would have never went for it.
Exactly.
And they know that. He would have never went for it.
This is true. It only works because he is young and he probably is scared he's going to get cut because of his behavior.
Right.
And so he just went along with whatever it needed to take in order to stay on the team. But come on. Babysitters?
Yeah.
That's a little,
babysitters.
To me, it's a little much. It's a little much.
Too much.
Around the clock security, like he around committing crimes and stuff. I mean, come on now. I mean, he's not like no detriment to society or nothing. I mean, he had a argument at his house, and then he had one incident in the mall with his friends. I think those were the only real things he ever had that he did. Kind of calling the question that the police were involved in.
He did steal some jewelry or something. Anyway,
I don't think he stole it. I think he owes money.
He was accused or something like that.
And I think he has a bill out there. I don't think he stole it.
Oh, okay. Well, you know, it's still a mark when you have millions of dollars and people are saying that you owe them money.
No, you can say that about half the league, though.
Yeah, but it's one thing to have debts. There's another thing to not just to be ignoring your debt, especially when you got that kind of money. So anyway, it made headlines, and so it makes them look bad anyway. So 407-894-1680, 407-894-1680. If you have any other comments you want to make about the NFL, love to hear them. I'm excited. Can't wait for the season.
Yeah, I want to hear from the Jacksonville fans and Miami fans and Tampa fans.
Yes.
What y'all think about Jones Drew? Holding out master again, telling him, better come on to work, boy. I don't care what you did the last 2 years.
Is that what they doing to him, bro? Is those the words they use?
Never mind that you got 3 or 4 people be making twice as much as you are. They ain't doing what you do it. Don't worry, we worry about that. Master say come to work.
407-894-1680. That's the number. 407-894-1680.
I personally think that's a setup though, so he can move that team. Because you don't get Jones Drew there, they ain't got nothing else to draw them fans there.
No, we'll see. They got the fresh new quarterback, second year. Hopefully he shows some progress.
Oh, okay. Oh, by the way, y'all see, I read this a couple months ago. In L.A., they were talking about building a football stadium.
Again.
And
they have the plans and everything.
Yeah, they have the
set
plans.
to go.
And but the commissioner say the only way he's going to prove it if it can hold 2 teams. They have to build it to hold 2 teams.
Oh, and the plans that they have set forth should make it one of the larger stadiums in the country. I mean, the plans that they have in place, because they already have plans in place to put teams in LA. The land deal has been approved. As far as the city is concerned, that's been approved. Everything is in place. The only thing that they don't have is team commitment.
Now they're not. 9 times out of 10, they're not going to start an expansion franchise anytime soon.
I thought they were supposed to be adding 3 more teams to the NFL.
That's the plan. It's in the plans, but that's also one of the big contentions.
That's why the refs be holding
with one of the refs. Yeah. The refs.
9 times out of 10, they're going to take an established team is going to end up in LA. I'm just saying.
I mean, they had the Raiders.
The Raiders moving from Oakland to San Francisco.
San Francisco.
Yeah, they're moving across the bay, basically.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll see what happens. It's going to be interesting the next
right across the board.
3 to 5 years.
They went from Oakland to L.A., back to Oakland, now to San Francisco.
You know, Al Davis kind of did what he wanted to do. They couldn't bother Al Davis.
His rich self.
Yeah, he did what he wanted to do. He was the only owner that wasn't scared of the league. I don't think Mr. Rooney's scared of the league either. He's been around since before time, too, so he's still holding on.
Steelers, baby, all day. Something else, big in the news right now. Republican convention is going on down in Tampa.
Yeah, yes. Why aren't you there, Jimmy?
Yeah.
Did you come back just now for the show?
A Republican.
You going back?
He's speaking tomorrow night. Did you know?
Yeah, I know he's on program.
Did you know that?
Yeah, on program.
He'll be on at 7:31.
You got your badges?
No,
no badges.
Your tickets. No badges. No tickets. No speaking engagement.
I know y'all can't see right now, but he has his Go Romney shirt on.
Go with your people. They're waiting on you.
But
and he got a Rush Limbaugh hat.
Rush Limbaugh. These guys. Don't hate. I am looking forward to seeing what happens though. Seeing what kind of platform they lay out at the end of the convention. That's going to be interesting. Can't wait. Next week too, of course, is going to be the start of the Democratic convention as well. So look forward to that too, and seeing what platform they lay out as well.
They need to do a better job of picking some of these speakers. I just caught a glimpse of it before I left the house. They had a lady. She was a representative. I can't remember where she's from, but I ain't heard so many stumbling over words in my life from a politician speaking in front of a live audience. I mean, she was just hopping and skipping all over them words. I'm like, y'all got to do better than that. Like, for real. y'all Republicans. Y'all supposed to be the prim and proper.
Have you ever heard Barack Obama give a speech without a teleprompter?
No. Have you heard anybody give a speech without a teleprompter?
Yes, I have.
Or that wasn't memorized?
Well, everybody has some cards, but
Okay, then.
When he's off the cuff, that sounds pretty bad too. Love him to death, I really do.
He's a good inspirer.
But he's when he's off the cuff, he's not the best either. But it happens.
He is the best. That's how he got in the office.
Yeah.
He speaks so well.
I thought that was Colin Powell.
He speaks so well.
That was Colin Powell. Colin Powell speaks so well.
He speaks so well.
But yeah, so looking forward to the end of the convention. Looking forward next week to the Democratic convention. Love to hear what the president is going to lay out. Hopefully, he has more to say than taxing the rich. That's what I'm hoping to see. Speaking of that, and this is just a comment. If you don't mind, for all those people who know without a shadow of a doubt, Ms. McCray, that they are going to be voting for President Obama, I need some help. I'm truly open to the idea of voting for the president, but I need some help. There's some information that I can't find, and I'm hoping the good people
you still looking for his birth certificate too?
Love this man so dearly.
Here we go.
If y'all can help me out, I wrote a blog about it. It's on the website, RealFamilyTalk.weebly.com, RealFamilyTalk.weebly.com, outlining the questions that I have about this great president's, President Obama's agenda. Just a few questions that I need help answering. And if those of you out there who love this man to death can just do me a favor, check out the website, read the blog, send me an email, realfamilytalk@gmail.com, and let me know the answer to those questions, because I would love to know, because I just can't find those answers, right? Because everybody has what is important to them, and I've laid that out for me. And if you can help me and convince me of the truth as it relates to that information, I'd appreciate if you let me know what's going on with that, and help a brother out, please.
Anyway,
that's what I could.
Weebly.com.
There's your answer right there. Help a brother out. That's the answer. Help a brother out.
Anyway,
Enough said.
Is that all it is?
Enough said.
No, we need a little bit more than that.
We're not talking about politics tonight.
No, we don't.
407-894-1680.
Help a brother out.
407-894-1680. He's already been helped. What I wanted to talk about tonight, though, I wanted to examine television a little bit. There is a current show out on TV land called The Soul Man. It is Cedric the Entertainer's comeback show to television. Now, for those that may have not seen the program, the idea is, the premise of the program is he plays a kind of R&B singer. He had his heyday in the 80s kind of thing. And now he has decided to come back to his hometown. And he said God called him to now become a minister. So he comes back to his hometown and he takes over his father's church as the pastor. And so the show follows him essentially as he now is changing his life and being the pastor of his father's church and leading Christians. Here's my problem with the show, though. It's a television show, and I get that. But my question is, it seems like every time you see Christians portrayed on television, and this is even, for black folks that do it, more than likely you get a picture of a Christian that, everybody has flaws, but you get the extreme of those flaws. I look at his particular character. So he's a pastor of a church, but yet he celebrates drinking alcohol. He sees that as his, wind down on his day, which there's some people that say, alcohol, the alcoholic drink alone is not the problem. But to me, it is a problem when a quote unquote pastor is having a beer every night. That to me, there's something a little fishy about that for me. Not only that, he's a avid cigar smoker, loves his Cubans, can't wait to get one. It kind of goes along those lines of, if you're going to play this character, the preacher, at some point, do you have to at least feel convicted about having this type of behavior be a part of your normal life? And again, I understand it's television, but I wonder, is there an underlying theme here that we are essentially degrading what, like I said, coming from black people, we know how serious we take our religion. Is there something, an underlying theme that's kind of degrading to Christians overall to kind of portray them in this light? That's my question. That's what I wonder. 407-894-1680 is the number. 407-894-1680. You wanted to make a comment, Jeremy?
Well, I would say one thing you do kind of have to understand that every denomination does not feel the same way about everything. Some denominations, it is not wrong to have a drink. It's not wrong to smoke. Some denominations, it's like that. Of course, the most Pentecostal churches, of course, that's a no-no. You can't touch it. But other denominations, it's not the same. So, you can argue the point that that's not necessarily inaccurate.
That has one point of view. Mr. Cray, what you thinking over there?
I haven't seen the show that many times, but the few that I did see, it seems like the one particular, he went to the club, actually, with a friend. A friend came in town, and he said, "Come on, let's go out to the club so you can be inspired." He was having trouble writing his sermon for the next Sunday.
Yes.
So he goes out to the club.
So he went to the club to get inspiration to write his sermon.
And that made me scratch my head. I'm like, wait, what is happening? And so what I'm getting is, he's maybe for this particular character, he's still trying to figure out his role as a pastor, coming from this R&B secular world to now this holy man. It seems like that conflict, they want to play on that throughout the show, is what I was getting. I didn't really get where you're coming from with how it's portraying Christians. It's the typical portrayal to me of that. That's how, especially with black churches, they hit every single person that you think you've seen. The cliches of people in church is hitting that.
I don't know. Did we see the Minister of Music though? I don't know if we saw that.
No, we haven't really seen the Minister of Music. So that particular cliche has not been hit upon, at least not yet.
Not yet.
But my thing is, like I said, if you're black, you know how serious religion is to black people. Why don't we, as a better representation of ourselves, again, and I'm not saying that everything he do has to be on the up and up, but as a pastor, if you went to a church and you found out that your pastor had 2 or 3 beers every night, and that on the weekends he went down to the cigar bar downtown underneath the movie theater and smoked cigars all weekend, you're going to have a problem with that. You're going to have a problem with that. Most people will have a problem with that, to seeing their pastor behave that way. And again, so I don't know. I just don't understand why the portrayal of Christians is always a negative, because regardless of how we see it, from our own perspectives, when you portray these types of characters on TV, that's what people who don't know anything, that's what they think. And so they think all Christians are like that. So they think, see, that's exactly why I don't go to church right there. You know what I'm saying? And so you get all of these, the excuses are played up on because this is the representation that they see. Because they're not watching TBN, they're not watching, all of these other Christian related programming to see, quote unquote, what real Christians do. They're just watching television and seeing, yeah, that's what they do. You got it on that one, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then in the back of their mind, that's exactly why I don't go to church. You know what I'm saying? Because I go to the church, I go to the club on Saturday, and the pastor right there with me. And so it plays and really kind of takes away from the message that I think that overall Christians are trying to relay. But it blows my mind that as black people, we do that to ourselves. You know what I mean? I would think, Cedric would have a little bit more respect to say, hey, man, we can't just have this character going to the club to get inspiration for his sermon. Like, are you serious?
I would say that's a little. He could list
that was a bit much. But then you also
stood in the parking lot.
And then you have to think about like Cedric he didn't have control. Like it's somebody else's show. They created it.
He's a producer.
But still
he can make a decision.
He made
407-894-1680.
He's an executive producer.
Right.
He's not. I don't think he's an executive.
He might not have the say so to be like, look, come on. The writers wrote that. Somebody else wrote that.
I mean, I get that, but come on, man. At some point, it's just like actresses turn down film roles because they don't want to be shown naked on the screen.
Right.
You know, you make a stand on something. You know, you gotta make a stand on something in life if you want to be true to yourself. But and then they even take it even further. In the last episode, this one blew my mind. In the last episode, the church mother and a few ladies of the church, they all went to Vegas, and the first thing they say when they get to Vegas is, "Woo, where's the male strip club?" Like, what?
What?
Like, what? You got the church mother going to the male strip club in Vegas as the first thing that she can't wait to do? Like, come on.
That was interesting.
It seems like they're just trying to make a mockery of the church.
Exactly.
But you got to understand, a lot of celebrities are atheists. I mean, and it's just a role to them. They don't care as long as they getting a check, because none of them, a lot of them don't believe in God. So really, it doesn't matter, what kind of role they're playing or whatever going on, because they don't believe that whatever's going on is really true anyway. And that's probably the biggest thing, because it's a lot of people that believe that Cedric the Entertainer, Steve Harvey, and a lot of others, they don't believe in God. So if I don't believe in God, then I can do all of this because I don't believe in what the pastor is really standing for.
407-894-1680 is the number. 407-894-1680.
Especially a lot of the writers and the producers, because it's a lot of people. The dude who, what's his name, Seth Rogers, who Family Guy. I know he's atheist. There's a lot of them that's atheists that don't believe in God, and that's why they do what they do, and that's why they put down what they put down, and and make the Christianity church look bad because they don't believe in God. They want to make a mockery out of it.
I really feel it seems that way, that they're purposely out to sort of ruin the name of Christians, and because they have these national platforms, again, it's regardless of truth or not. It's the presentation. It's not about what the truth is. It's about what people perceive. And so when these are the perceptions that you place out there consistently, I mean, it has to play a negative role at some point, which it kind of proves that point that as Christians you have to really show and prove. You have to prove yourself and let people know that you are separated, you are different, because the world really, as portrayed in this, the world really doesn't see Christians in that light. They really just see them as everybody else. You was at the club with me on Saturday night, or oh man, you was at that bar having some Jack or whatever with me. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because a lot of times, some of us anyway, we don't separate ourselves from society and some of those extracurricular things that we shouldn't be a part of. I even see it in we're talking about the Soul Man is what I brought up, but they had a show on one of the major networks, GCB. And this was a group of white ladies here, white Christian ladies who were all Christian on Sunday, but Monday through Saturday they were backstabbing each other and gossiping, and they just kept they are the ones who kept the mess up, if you will, in the neighborhood. Again, and the title GCB stood for Good Christian, and I won't say that word on the air here, but you can fill in the B word if you like. But that was the whole point of that particular show. So they wanted to show these Christian ladies who were all Christian on Sunday, but the rest of the week they were scandalous, to say the least.
They don't really do no other religions like that. I've never seen them dog any Jewish religion at all. I don't understand it. They don't even talk about slavery, black people slavery on TV, but they got tons of Holocaust movies everywhere you go.
Well, that's because you got to understand who built and controls Hollywood.
Right.
And that's what I'm trying to say. That's exactly what I'm saying.
That's a big thing. Now, I would say this. If you watch on Bravo, there's a couple shows of people who are supposedly who are Muslim, and they act ashamed to be. If you ask me, they would make me ashamed to be Christians the way they be acting. I mean, they be like off the chain. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, there's programs out there, but obviously, with this country being supposed to be a Christian country, and the attack on Christianity in general, you're going to see more detrimental programs toward Christianity.
407-894-1680, 407-894-1680 is the number here. Ms. McCray, you kind of got all quiet on us over there. What you thinking over there, Ms. McCray?
I'm just listening to the commentary. I mean, the show itself, it's not one that I'm going to be watching anyway.
Oh.
So.
This city.
I know. It's sad, and I want to like it, because I'm like, oh, man, Cedric, but I
would say this. It's funny and entertaining. But like you said, if you're looking at it, I would say this. Well, I understand why devout Christians wouldn't watch it. I'll say that. But it is entertaining, It's definitely not winning any points with anybody.
The one episode that I did see, the same one where he went to the club, the wife had the mothers of the church over to the house, and a cousin that was in town spiked the punch. They knew it was spiked. So the women of the church are over here drinking punch that's spiked that they knew, and then the cousin actually sells sex toys. So she's having like a pleasure party for all these women of the church while they're drinking and buying sex toys.
So that's not true?
Hey, I don't know what you do in your own house.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just.
But that again goes into the portrayal. It's like, it's outrageous. It's outrageous.
But I would say one of these things. I remember when we were younger. That we grew up Church of God in Christ, and our pastor, he was old school and traditional, and he would make a big deal about separating yourself from the world. Him and the older mothers in the church, they would always say that you're not supposed to be like the world. You ain't supposed to look like the world. You ain't supposed to dress like the people in the world dress. You were supposed to be. People should be able to look at you and tell the difference. You're not supposed to be blended in and to be like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm Christian. It should be shining off you. You know what I'm saying? You should be living an example. And I do think that's part of the issue today. Everybody's trying to blend in so much. I believe the church in general, the Christian church in general, has acclimated to the world too much. Excuse me. I believe we have. We adjust service times because for this and that. You know what I'm saying? Instead of saying this is what it is, it's rules in place. God didn't budge off the 10 Commandments because the Israelites wouldn't obey him. He punished them. You know what I'm saying? So I believe in general that we're just conforming to the world too much.
I think it's also a trick of the enemy also. I mean, that's why they put the television shows out there, like you say, for the people who really don't go to the church and who don't know the church. That's what they're going to look at, and that's what they're going to think about. And, everything is psychological, you know what I'm trying to say, when it comes to humans. Because, what they see, and if they've never experienced it, they're going to go off of what they see and what they hear.
Yeah.
So, that's why I wouldn't even support the show. I seen a little bit of the show. I think I seen like 5 minutes of it. And I turned that channel quick because it just my spirit was just shaking up. I just couldn't take it. And the Lord spoke to me and
lead
said,
you to a scripture?
Turn that channel. I think it did. It led me to Psalms, the 100 Psalms. And the Lord... I forgot to say. I forgot it right now, but it led me to 100 Psalms.
407-894-1680.
Make a joyful noise into the
Lord.
Lord.
How do you think it you know what? How do you feel about it with other sitcoms and shows that were
like I say, I don't watch none of South Park. I don't watch. I stopped watching The Simpsons because they go ham on religion, and it's like that's really what they aim their shows at. I mean, you even look at supposable horror movies right now. None of these movies are horror movies. They're all about spiritual demons, and,
stuff, yeah.
that's all these movies are about. I remember Chucky. I remember Freddy. I remember Jason, Michael Myers. Now all you got is, the Holocaust. I'm sorry, not the Holocaust, but you got, like you were saying, people being exorcisms.
It's all about
stuff.
exorcism.
It's not horror movies no more. It's all about religion, and it's just showing you the times.
Well, I was talking about like shows like Amen. How would you compare a show like Amen to this current show?
Well, Amen, they did sort of push some boundaries, but the thing that I would say is different is they, in that particular show, the pastor had conviction.
Mm-hmm. That is true.
When he was kind of teeter-tottering on what is wrong or what is right. He had conviction about doing that said thing, whereas in this particular show, there is no conviction. It is what it is. Like, man, I feel like having some beers. Like, okay, let's do it.
But you also have to attribute that to the times too. Amen was on in the 80s, and it was on network television in the 80s. You know how strict that was. And back then it was certain lines they just wouldn't cross. Like now it's 2012. It's like, and then they're on cable. It's anything goes. You do what you want, say what you want.
I suppose.
I don't know, man.
That was a successful show. I loved Amen.
I haven't seen the Catholic show when they talking about what really goes on in the Catholic Church. I haven't.
No, they're not going.
Yet.
They're not going to show you what's going on in the Catholic Church, but
you don't see that.
I would say this: it's been plenty of things talking about people who are supposed to be devout Catholics and how they act. I mean, Godfather 1, 2, 3. Sopranos,
like said,
all those guys are supposed to be Catholic.
It was all movies though, but you never
all
seen
all the guys are supposed to be Catholic.
No TV show, and that's
Sopranos is a TV show.
Sopranos wasn't based on the Catholic Church though.
No, it wasn't based on. But I'm just saying, those most mafia guys are devout Catholics.
Yeah,
and they're very serious about that.
I don't know if they're serious about it. But
yeah, but
I mean, to them they're serious. That's what I'm saying.
But there's a difference that's a show that is not about religion. That's a show.
No, it wasn't.
That's a show that is about their life as a mob boss. Here's a show that this show is about the pastor. This show is about the pastor living his life. So the scale of what it is completely different. You've never had a show about a Catholic priest where the Catholic priest was doing all kinds of odd things that you typically.
Actually, there's a show.
Go ahead, Mr. McCray.
On Showtime, the bourgeois, the Borgias. It's all about the Roman Catholic Church and the priests and the cardinals and corruption and all that stuff. I think there's documentation of some of the corruption that's in the Catholic Church.
I don't have Showtime, so excuse me. I barely got cable.
We go pray for you, brother.
Thank you.
You don't even need network programs to tell you about some of the problems that the Catholic Church is having.
Right.
But
it's not promoted.
But no, it is not promoted.
Like
it's
Christianity.
It's not promoted.
Again.
I
forgot who running things, right?
Well, I mean, I didn't forget.
There's no different than the Jewish people controlling Hollywood. I mean, come on, the Catholic Church is the most powerful church in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, what you think they're going to put out? Or they're going to allow to be put out?
Only a certain amount. I mean, it's just sad that you would have people like Cedric that will actually take the role. That's my opinion. I wouldn't even accept that role.
Yeah, that's true.
I would do just like Chris Tucker, and I would just disappear.
We're assuming that Cedric is a Christian.
I'm not assuming that. I already told you. I know he's atheist.
So like you said, it could just be a role.
But it's still setting back. You haven't heard what?
That he was.
You don't have to hear that somebody's homosexual. You can just tell by their actions that they're homosexual.
Okay.
So you, I hear your point. I hear your point.
Led into another scripture.
You say no real Christian
would take that role.
Would take that role and
it's just like I love to use Chris Tucker as a great example. Chris Tucker is a person who sat down and got out the car. He didn't even get in the back seat and take the back row. He got out the car because of his religion, of his belief. He was like, I don't want to be portrayed how they're trying to portray me, so I'm going to just sit down. And that's what he did.
What is his role going to be in the next Friday?
From what I read, he wasn't going to be in the movie.
Yes, he is.
I mean, the money gonna count, but well, from what I'm guessing is Smokey gonna come out of rehab and he gonna go from there.
He'll be on the corner.
Turn
minister.
his life around.
Hey, you
Jesus
go
said
downtown,
that's right,
you see somebody down there doing that. They used to be downtown party, and now they downtown with a Bible and a speaker.
Yes, there's a lot of brothers that are downtown with Bibles and speakers. This is true.
And Smokey might be one of them.
And signs. But yeah, I don't know. I just, like I said, for me, I just was really taken back by that whole representation of pastors, especially pastors. I think one thing about a church that I won't call it sacred, but at least one of the respected individuals of that church for sure. It's got to be the pastor, and to portray that particular position in that way, to me, it just kind of irked me a little bit. Like, really, like this is the best we can do in order to create some humor. Which I think there's some humor in the concept of what they're trying to do, but you don't have to send them to the club to write sermons. You know what I mean? There was other episodes where
his brother is just wild.
Right, but at least his brother doesn't claim to be a preacher,
Yeah.
and that's the part you got to respect. But yeah, it just, I don't know, it just kind of it's just that whole idea of why are Christians always portrayed to be these hypocritical individuals that are not true to what they say they are. I don't get it, and it's consistent.
It paints that awful example of the people that are, unfortunately. Not all Christians are going to be by the book in how we expect to live their lives.
And that's fine, and they're not supposed to be. Nobody said everybody in the church was right. You're not in the church because you're right. You're in the church because you're working on being a better person and striving towards the mark, as they say. So I mean, it's expected that people are going to be working on themselves. But again, I'm not saying the pastor has it all together, but he's certainly a leader that is supposed to be leading people, and it seems hard to do that when you clearly, as they portray this particular character, have a lot of things that you got to work on yourself.
Yeah. Right. You would think that they wouldn't be so out front about it, I should say.
Exactly.
Exactly. Say it was a time when you didn't know the pastor drank. Say, now he ordering you drink.
He ordering you drink. You want one too?
Come fellowship.
I do not need to meet the pastor.
Take me to the
at
water.
the bar.
with this preacher collar on.
But yeah, that's the soul, man. So catch it if you like. But those are some of the issues that I found watching some of the episodes of that show.
But like we're going back to that old adage, it's easier to sell a backsliding Christian than a devout. Nobody wants to see nobody acting right. Nobody wants to see that. You want to see. You want to be able to look and say, "I told you." So everybody want to point the finger. See, I told you he ain't doing this. See, I told you he ain't doing that. He ain't doing what he said he was doing. He ain't doing that. That's why we watch it. That's why. Unfortunately, a lot of people go to church to that. Look at him around there shouting all day. I just saw him getting a bed at the store yesterday. Unfortunately, we do that. We like misery loves company.
I agree. But yeah, so that's again, that was the soul, man. A couple other comments before we get out of here. I see time is kind of winding down on us. I want to announce there is going to be a meeting happening. There's a group of individuals being led by Tamia Brinson of Rejoice Magazine, who are trying to build a Orlando chapter of the National Action Network, Reverend Al Sharpton's organization. They're trying to build a Orlando area chapter for it. The goal of the chapter, they need officially 25 members to be an official National Action Network chapter. And so they are going to, they had a meeting last night to kind of introduce the idea to people, but they're going to have another meeting on September 10th And they're asking everyone that can to come out and participate. They want to get things going. Of course, we know November is right around the corner here. So they want to get organized and get some things moving so that they can have an impact on this current election and just the impact in the community in general moving forward. So if you are interested in becoming a member of the National Action Network, the Orlando or Orange County chapter, the meeting is going to be on September 10th. That is not this week coming, but the week after that. That is a Monday, September 10th. It's going to start at 6:30 p.m. It's going to be held at the Sanctuary of Levites Church, which is located at 4188 Minoso Street, 4188 Minoso Street. I know what Minoso Street. I don't think I ever heard of that. It's you may not have heard of Minoso, but you probably heard of Bruton. So it is off of a few streets off of Bruton is where you'll find it. But 88 Minoso Street, that's Orlando, Florida, of course, is the address. If you put it in your navigation, you'll find, like I said, you'll find it located not too far away from Bruton Boulevard. And I know you're familiar with Bruton Boulevard there. Remember, that's going to be Monday, September 10th, 6:30 p.m. Now, try and be on time. I know how it is, but 6:30 p.m. they want to get started, get moving, get organized, and create a plan of action moving forward. So, like I said, they're trying to build a National Action Network arm of the for Orange County here, led by Tamia Brinson of Rejoice Magazine. So 6:30 p.m. September 10th, 4188 Minoso Street. That is, of course, Orlando, Florida. So if you're interested, go check it out. And you can also go on the website if you're curious, what is the National Action Network about. They do have a website you can check out and figure that out and see for yourself if you want to join. So National Action Network. Hopefully, I did go out last night to last night's meeting, and it was interesting. A lot of energized people out there ready to get out and get people informed about some of the things coming up. So National Action Network, Monday, September 10th, 4188 Minoso Street. What do y'all think about that? You think having these types of organizations, do you think they have an impact?
I think so. For people to get involved in the community. And Central Florida and Orlando is on the map now with these, with Trayvon Martin and just Al Sharpton spending so much time here. So I think just getting the community together and some energy and some fire under us, I think it's good.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. The one thing I found interesting, and they made some comments last night, I won't repeat, but, I think about like the NAACP, what is the NAACP doing in Orlando? Anybody know?
I think I've seen them at Disney World.
I know they're registering people. They're trying to get people registered to vote. But I mean, exactly what are you getting at, sir?
I'm just asking the question. I'm just asking questions.
Basically, you're saying it doesn't feel like they have a real presence.
No, it doesn't feel like they have a
I would agree with you on that.
Doesn't really feel like they have a real presence here. I wonder about some of these. I'm all for grassroots level organizations, but it seems like some of the ones that at least as they say the name, it doesn't seem like you hear about them a lot. And that's not to say that on a national level you certainly hear them speak about things, but on a local level it just seems like a lot of times they are a little absent as far as making headlines, news. In today's day and age, if you're not on Facebook or if you're not seeing stuff on Facebook, you almost have to question, like, well, what are you doing with your life that you're not on Facebook?
You can't. You can't.
But you can't judge it by what that. Yeah, I understand that. But nonetheless,
you don't know what they're actually going out in the community doing. What kind of clothing drives or food drives or back to school drives that they're doing that they're just not getting announced, or, even if it's just so much as, they're just helping people out with those little things here and there. That's something. I mean, everything's not going to be a headline, and I'll actually appreciate it more if they did just do little things instead of just trying to grab a headline when this story happens or when this story happens,
I agree.
I think you're more of a factor if you really just around just doing little small things, helping people, because you're actually physically touching real people instead of just giving words.
I agree. I feel that just because we don't hear about it doesn't mean that it's not happening. In some way, somebody's getting helped. We're fortunate enough to be in a situation where we don't need those services.
What about you, conspiracy brother? What do you have to say about that?
I agree with Ms. McCray.
No conspiracy on that one, huh, bro?
The people in the shadows.
You know they running that. Come on now. Don't get me started on the date the NAACP was actually founded. Was just around the same time that other secret societies were founded. So I don't believe in none of that, man. I'm telling you.
One thing I did find interesting, the comment that was made last night about the NAACP, is that they were actually it was started by Jews. And then some blacks joined together with these Jews to actually form the NAACP, which is I did not know that. I did not know that particular history.
I didn't know that.
So that is very interesting. That again, the national. I can't even tell you all the words right now. Somebody help me out. What's the national?
The National Association for the Advancement of Colored People.
Colored people.
Okay, the National Advancement Association of Colored People was started by Jews.
Does that include me? Because I know I'm bright skinned. I mean,
oh my God.
bright is a color.
Bright is a color.
So is white though.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. Which is why it's for all people.
You're right.
Exactly.
It's just not a black organization.
It's just not a black organization. Exactly. Brother, I see you have a comment that you want to make. So go ahead, brother. What's your comment?
I just want to talk about Gabby and everything that she's going through, and I heard that she was almost going to quit gymnastics from all the drama that she was going through and the bullying and the getting picked on and everything to that nature in school. And I feel like it's crazy, man. It's just going to heights that it really shouldn't have been going to. And I don't think that no other gymnast, Dominique Dawes, or none of them went through what she is actually going through, and I think it's crazy. I think it's ludicrous.
Well, what she was talking about in the
somebody watches Oprah,
right?
Oh,
I watch the news, brother.
Her interview, she was talking about before she left to go to Iowa, the gym that she trained at in Virginia Beach. There was a lot of isolation, bullying. Some of her teammates would just isolate her, and she just didn't feel comfortable there, and a bit of racism. And that was part of the reason why she said, Mom, I need to leave here or I'm going to quit the sport. This is what the interview was about with Oprah that aired on Sunday. So then that led her mom to allow her to move on to Iowa, and now she's made the history. But it's a sport where there are not many black kids, period. So what she was, I bet, and not that there are probably other Gabbies out there in the country that are dealing with this same issue. Any sport where you're a minority and then she's good?
That's not true. That's not any sport, because I can name two, football and basketball, where it's not even the opposite, though, people of color dominate the sport. We don't bully and pick on anybody else that comes in the sport that's not our color.
You don't think the teammates clown on a white boy?
No.
It's playing receiver and stuff.
Really?
No, not at all.
I would beg to differ.
Because look at the big white boys that's on the line in football.
I'm
you
not
think them boys
about,
get picked on?
I'm not talking about.
Look at Dan Marley. You think Dan Marley got picked on? You think what's the dude name who went to Duke? The guy, and now he played for Orlando. You think he got picked on? No.
J.J. Redick.
J.J. Redick. You think J.J. Redick got picked on?
You're speaking of particular people. You said, but I'm sure, and I would know it happens. When you get the guy, when you go to school, and all the receivers over there, and there's 8 black guys and 1 white guy, you don't think he catching nothing? Say, man, you slow.
I mean,
man, you not quick.
If you slow, you slow.
But then drop it down.
But that's all kind of. But that's all part of it.
Don't even
the
look
picking,
at
the
it.
hazing, the harassing. It's part of it.
Not even on a professional level. Think about kids. That's what I'm talking about.
Kids gonna be kids.
But kids, that's what the bullying is coming from.
I know what kind of kid I was.
But she was a kid. But Gabby, when the whole thing was talking, she was a kid.
Yeah, she was
so
14
I mean, if you
want
to say kids could be kids, I mean,
14 years old and being isolated and being bullied and feeling uncomfortable to the point where she wanted to quit her sport.
Right. And she actually lived with a white family when she was in Iowa, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I learned that. I did watch Oprah.
You watch Oprah?
Yes.
Oh, so you was getting on me for watching Oprah, but then you turned.
I just mentioned that you did, bro.
Oh, wow.
Those are the things.
Ain't nothing wrong with a man watching Oprah.
I mean, card-carrying members of the OWN
She
network.
doesn't support men
No,
at all.
That
but
is not true.
She ain't give not one man no free call.
That is not true.
But
she don't support men. Anybody want to call in?
Ain't no men going to Oprah's show.
I go on Oprah show in a heart. Well, Tom Cruise going I go.
I'm saying going to the show. I'm talking about to the show. Ain't nobody going to sit.
Ain't nothing but single women in that Oprah audience. I would love to go.
No, it's not nothing but single women. You have a bunch of middle-aged white women that's in that show.
I take
with about
that
two or three middle-aged black women sprinkled in.
I take that too. If you got enough money, you can just take off of work and go see Oprah. You did something right.
A lot of them don't work.
Well, I can't do no woman that ain't working. I can't do no woman that don't work. That is not gonna work for me. Especially if you can't cook and you don't work. No.
Mr. Biker Kid's philosophies on dating.
I support Oprah though. I support Oprah, but I just think Oprah need to support more men. And that when I see that,
now how you support Oprah and you said that she don't let you talk about God on her show.
She don't.
So how you gonna support that? And you got a problem with the show that clown Christianity?
The same reason I support Obama, with the color of their skin. Other than that,
but you said you don't support Obama.
Right. Last week,
I don't support
voting
voting for Obama. But if that brother already in office, let the man do his thing. That's all I'm trying to say.
Turn off his mic.
That's all I'm trying to say.
Turn off your mic.
Thank you. That's all I'm trying to say. Everybody mic will go off today. I'm behind the boards. What'd you say, Ms. McCray? I can't hear. Oh. No, I support him because of the color. I'm racist. What can I say?
At least you can own up to him. Is that
not racist?
At least you can own up to
just pro-black. There's nothing wrong being pro-black.
To your issues. That's all right.
Hey,
I give you that.
I keep it 100.
Most people can't.
Even when I'm wrong,
issues, so
I keep it 100. That's all I can. I'm not gonna never lie to you, even if it's about Oprah. I'm not gonna lie to you, even if it's about Obama. I'm not gonna lie to you. Sorry about that.
We appreciate that.
No problem. That's what I'm here for.
Yes.
Honesty is the best policy.
That's the only policy. It's not the best policy.
Yeah, it is.
I don't understand why people lie.
Now, what scripture that is?
That is one of the commandments that you were speaking on with the Israelites, brother. I think that's in Leviticus.
Oh my God. These are clowns I'm on the set with here tonight. We're winding down here. Again, we would like to thank you guys for listening to the show. Find us on Facebook, Real Family Talk. Find us on Twitter, Real Family Talk. YouTube, Real Family Talk. Check out the website, realfamilytalk.weebly.com. Please, all my President Obama supporters, help me out. Read my blog. Answer the question. Send me an email, realfamilytalk@gmail.com. Because help Miss McCray out, because she read it and couldn't respond to me. I guess she deemed it not necessary.
I gave you a response.
But help me out. I know. He's a brother.
Okay, then. Enough said.
And didn't I just say that? Now, when I say it, it's a problem.
I didn't say it was a problem.
I'm just saying, when I say
I didn't say it was a
support
problem.
people because they,
I just said it conflicted with your past state.
That's what Mexicans would do. That's what everybody would do. It's like, well, I'm going to support him because we the same color.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that at all. That's what we did. That's how he got in office.
Part of it.
A lot of it.
80%. No. I ain't never heard of this man in my life.
See you next week, family. Thanks for listening.
WOKB, Winter Garden, Orlando.
Made my life worth living.